Okay, hello. This is a review assignment. You need a piece of paper. There will be 10 problems. So make sure you take a picture and attach it to this assignment and for full credit, okay? So there are two ways to be present today. You have another assignment. You have two. So if you get either one done, you're considered present today. So again, this is review, and these are some good word problems or to practice on your test tomorrow. So one more time, number 1 through 10, I would say 3 lines maybe. They're not that long. You may want to draw some triangles, but remember tomorrow on the test that half of your work is what you show on paper. So just remember. Okay, let me go through these. Very early in the year, we learned that a ratio, you had to put, some people are getting these two mixed up, put it that way. So when it asks for a ratio, you want to put the first number over the second number and not necessarily the largest over the smallest. So when we learn unit rates, then that's when we started putting the largest number over the smallest, or if there's money, it always goes on the top. So again, that was with unit rates. Scale factors, we have learned this later in this unit. Scale factors, if you're going to do one of those, you either put the new over the old, if they're talking about triangles, like from triangle A to triangle B, excuse me, or they're talking about a model of something or the actual item. And whenever they want the scale factor for a model or actual item, they want the top number to be a 1. So we are going to go through 1 or 2 of those, so you'll see. Now, if they mention the word shadows, that's where you want to draw 2 triangles and then make your proportion and solve for the missing height or shadow length. Okay, so number 1. Samantha plays on a softball team for her school. She strikes out twice every 9 times she is at bat. So we see twice and 9 in the same sentence. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say she strikes out. I'm going to put an S for strikes out. And every time she is at bat, out of every 9 times she's at bat, so I'm going to put a B at bat. I could put a little letter B or whatever. So she strikes out. That means 3 strikes are out every time she gets up to bat. Okay, so I'm going to use for my proportion 2 over 9 so far. Okay, if she did strike out 14 times this season, how many times was she at bat? So these are strikeouts, these are the bats. So I'm going to put 14 here and X here, or you can put a B. It does not matter. So if you work that out, you should get, in fact, throughout this, you can stop this anywhere and do it yourself. You don't have to wait for me to work it for you. In fact, you should pre-test yourself. So when I read the question, I would turn it off, try to do it myself, and then see the rest of it to see what it is. Anyway, it ends up being B equals, or X equals 63. And that would be times at bat. Okay, so let me change this to a B so they'll all match. Okay, now going on. Okay, Adam entered a 3-hour hot dog eating contest. During the contest, Adam ate 4 hot dogs every 15 minutes. Okay, so this catches my eye. You have 4 hot dogs and every 15 minutes. So I know that that is going to be my scale, the key, excuse me. So I'm going to put D for dogs, and I'm going to put M for minutes. So I'll know what to put where. So in other words, I kind of skipped this number, didn't I? I see 4 goes with 15 for him. 4 over 15. Okay, now 3 hours. Okay, let's put 3 here. Okay, now let me just go ahead and say that if this is hours, you cannot put minutes and hours in the same place. So I'm going to multiply 3 times 60, and I'm going to actually get 180 minutes because that's the equivalent minutes. Okay, and then what I'm looking for is D for dogs. Okay, so if you work that out, you should get 48 hot dogs. Okay, again, I've ordered something to help me with this writing, so just bear with me right now. 40, that says 48 hot dogs, okay? Okay, Tanya is making a scale model of a monument that is 160 feet tall. If she uses a scale of 4 inches to 15 feet, how tall should she make her model? Okay, so again, I see these two together. 4 over 15 equals, okay, inches over feet. Okay, so over here, I'm going to look at the word behind 160, and I know it's going to be on the bottom because it says feet. So pretty easy problem, and I'm looking for inches. Little letter I, again, you can use X, and oh my goodness. Okay, I just didn't like the looks of this. So I'm going to redo it. I. And the answer is 42 2/3. Now, how do we know it's 42 2/3? Well, way back on your notes, you had to write parts of a foot, and there's a list. 2 inches equals something, 3 inches equals something, and so forth. So if you look at the 0.6 repeating, that is the same as 2/3. Okay, again, it's from your notes a while ago, so you might want to look at those. So it's 42 2/3. And this is feet. No, excuse me, inches. Okay, number 4. An architect drew plans for a new bridge that is 425 meters long. If his plans show the bridge as 50 centimeters, what scale did he use? Okay, now for scale, I remember I have new over old or model over actual. So I'm going to use the model over the actual. That was at the beginning of this video. So I'm going to think, where would 425 go? 425 meters. You can't have 425 meters in a room, much less on a table. So I'm going to put 425 on the bottom because that is the actual length. And if his plans show that the bridge is 50 centimeters, so 50. Centimeters. Now, you don't have a choice on this. The numerator has to be a 1. Okay, so what can I divide 50 by to get that? Well, itself. So if I divide both of these by 50, I'm going to get that missing value. Okay, the answer is 8.5. Okay, now this isn't the answer. Okay, the answer looks like this. 1 centimeter equals 8.5 feet. Excuse me, meters. Okay, that is your answer. Okay, now notice I'm going to slide up that it looks like this. This is a scale. So that's what we want it to look like. But again, the rules are this has to start with a 1. So going by the rules. Okay, number 5, if the figures below are similar, which they're telling you basically that they are, give the scale factor. Okay, this is where we put new over old. And whatever they say first is old. Whatever they say second is new. Okay, so I need to gather some numbers. So I'm looking at these angle measures. From 1 to 2, I don't see one. So 45 doesn't have a matching number, so we cannot use 45. Okay, so let's look at this. From 2 to 3, hang on, let me get on my glasses. It's hard to see for me. Okay, from 2 to 3 is 36, and over here from 2 to 3 is 20. So I know those go together. The new goes on top. New is figure B, so 20. And the old figure number goes on bottom, 36. And here you just simply reduce. I have to think of a number that goes into 20 and 36. They're both even. So I'm going to think 2. Please, 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 anytime 2 works, check 4. Okay, and so if you check 4, these are timetable answers for 4, so I'm going to divide both by 4. And that is 5 over 9. Okay. Going on, number 6, find x. Here we go. So I'm going to look at these angle marks. I'm going to say 3 to 2. 3 to 2. So I know x goes over 27. And 18 goes from 1 to 3. 1 to 3, 20. So I'm going to put back to the x figure, 18 to 20. Okay, work that out. This is not a 6. And the answer is, let me turn my paper over, 24.3. Okay, number 7, look at these angles again. Excuse me. 14 goes from, I'm sorry, let me do x first. 1 to 2 is x. 1 to 2 is 9 over here. So 14 is from 3 to 1, 3 to 1. So there's our double. Okay, right proportion. Okay, 14, let's start with x. X goes with 9, and back to the same figure, 10.5. Goes with 14. I'm going to make that 9 look a little more like a 9. Here we go. And then cross multiply and divide. The answer is 6 3/4. And that's because your decimal came out to be 6.75. Okay, number 8. Okay, 3 more. Let me change color. Okay, given ABC, so A and D go together or correspond, B and B correspond, and C and E correspond. Find EB. Looking for, here it is, X. So that is X. Okay, now for what goes with X, I'm going to consult up here. E to B, okay, right here, has to go with B to C. So I'm looking from B to C is, okay, single, 35. Okay, now we need 2 more sides. We have 28 and we have 11.2. Okay, but if you look from A to D, that is not the side of a triangle. But 28 is the side of this little triangle. So DB, okay, DB is my double. Now, what does it go with? DB goes with AB. And that is from this dot to this dot. So I need to add up 11.2 and 28. Okay, I'm lining up the decimals. 2, 8 plus 1 is 9, and 1 plus 2 is 3. So this right here from A to B, I'm going to put it over here because I don't want to mess up my picture that much, is 39.2. Okay, let me see if, I don't know how thinly I can do it. Let me do it in yellow, then we can still see stuff. Okay, can't see my 28, okay. Anyway, that is 11.2. So X is on the small triangle, so 28 is on the small triangle. And then its corresponding is 39.2. And then cross multiply and divide, and X comes out to be 25.
We need Ethan Dewey and Reagan Morrison to the front office. Ethan Dewey and Reagan Morrison, please report to the front office.
Okay, JK, do you see JK here? JK is what we're looking for. And first two letters, so NP, from N to P, so those correspond. And then we're going to have to use another one. I'm going to choose 15. So I'm going to say J to L is, I'm going to put dots. J to L. So I'll look over here what corresponds with J to L, and I'm going to say N to M. So double, go back to that red, N to M, so the 9. Okay, so X to 10.8. Equals 15, because again, if X is on the top, its counterpart on that same picture has to go on the top. 15 over 9. Cross multiply and divide, and you get 18. Okay, last picture. A 15-foot tree casts a 20 3/4 or 0.75 foot long, casts a shadow that long. At the same time, a nearby building casts a shadow. So I see the word shadow. So I'm going to draw 2 triangles. Okay, a 15-foot tree. This is the height of the tree. This is the length of the shadow. So I'm going to put the 15 here. 20.75.
We need Michael Logan, Ethan Dewey, and Reagan Morrison, all to report to the front office.
Go.
Michael Logan, Ethan Dewey, Reagan Morrison, please report to the front office.
Okay. At the same time, a nearby building casts a shadow of 166 feet long. So 166 because it is the shadow. How tall is the building? So I'm going to write the proportion. 15 and X are on top. Sorry about that. And X on the top over here, 20.75. And 166. And if you cross multiply and divide, X equals 120. And feet, everything's feet. Okay, so make sure you take a picture, attach, and mark your assignment as done.